The silent traps of the mind. The human brain isn't always on your side. It not only processes information, but it also silently distorts it, making you believe you're thinking objectively, when in fact every choice you make is being guided, from money to emotions to how you perceive others. The brain is always looking for shortcuts to save energy. As a result, you think you're in control, but you're actually living according to patterns it's drawn up long ago. The scariest part is, you rarely realize it. Chapter 1, The Prison of the Mind. Every time you receive new information, your brain immediately creates a reference point to compare everything that comes after. That point becomes an invisible framework guiding your thoughts, making you believe you're being logical, when in fact, you're just circling around a preset belief. It's like when someone says a used car costs $15,000. You bargain it down to $12,000 and feel victorious, even though its real value is only $8,000. The brain prefers the feeling of being right over discovering the truth. It operates to save energy, not to seek reality, but to seek certainty. A single number, story, or vivid image can become a new standard in your mind, and from there, every judgment gets distorted. Chapter 2, The Illusion. Those who know the least are often the most confident. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect, one of the brain's cruelest tricks. When you first learn to drive, you think you're great, until experience shows you how naive you were. The brain makes us believe we understand things just to feel safe. But the more we learn, the more we realize how complex the world is, and how small we really are. Confidence fades not because we've weakened, but because we've started to see our own limits. Truly intelligent people aren't afraid of not knowing, they're afraid of stopping the search. Because the moment you believe you understand everything, that's when you stop growing. Chapter 3, Mistakes. We hate the feeling of giving up, so we often cling to what we've invested in, even when we know it's no longer worth it. We keep fixing a relationship, a job, or a habit, not because it still has value, but because we don't want to admit we were wrong. The brain convinces us that trying a little harder might save everything, but sometimes, what we're really holding onto is just the past. The tighter we cling, the more time, energy, and opportunity we lose to start anew. Letting go isn't weakness, it's understanding your limits. Ask yourself, if I could start over, would I still choose this? If the answer is no, then letting go is the bravest thing you can do. Chapter 4, The Crowds. The crowd makes you believe that the majority is always right. But reality proves otherwise, from the trend of investing in virtual currencies, hot stocks, to the everyone is doing it trends on social networks. People often rush into each other in the belief that everyone is doing it, so it must be right, until everything collapses at the same time. The crowd does not create the truth, it only creates a sense of security. When we see many people choosing the same direction, we automatically believe that it is the right choice. Because people are more afraid of being separated from the group than of being wrong, but safety in the crowd is just an illusion. If everyone agrees, perhaps no one will dare to think differently. The most sane person is not the one who opposes, but the one who is calm enough to stop and ask questions when everyone is blindly moving in the same direction. Chapter 5, Fake Authority. A person speaks confidently, wears a suit, uses complicated words, and we immediately believe them. That's the authority bias. The brain is more easily persuaded by the appearance of professionalism than by real evidence. But many experts are more talk than action, more impression than value. Real authority is not in the voice or the business card, but in actual results. Don't give your thinking to others just because they seem to know better. Wise people don't trust images, they trust data and experience. Chapter 6, The Benjamin Franklin Paradox. If you want someone to like you, don't try to curry their favor, ask them to do you a small favor. When someone does you a favor, they convince themselves that they care about you. The brain needs a rational reason for doing something, and the simplest way to do it is to think I like this person. Politicians, leaders, and wise people understand this rule. Helping builds bonds, because people value what they have invested in. So don't be afraid to ask. It's not weakness, it's a subtle way to create genuine trust. Chapter 7, Strategy. Forget the usual ways of solving problems. First principles thinking allows us to see things from their roots instead of repeating what everyone else believes. Elon Musk applied this mindset when developing electric cars. While most experts insisted that batteries are too expensive, he didn't accept that conclusion and asked instead, what are batteries really made of? By breaking them down, cobalt, nickel, aluminum, carbon, and polymer, and recalculating the actual cost, he discovered it could be up to 90% cheaper than the industry assumed. That single shift in questioning sparked the electric car revolution. The real limits don't exist in reality, but in our beliefs. Strategic thinking isn't about complexity, it's about daring to question the obvious. Because sometimes, one different question is all it takes to change the world. Chapter 8, Second-Order Vision. Ordinary people only see the immediate results. Smart people see beyond that, they see the consequences. That's second-order thinking, not just asking is this good? But also what will happen next. A decision can be immediately beneficial but harmful in the long run. Discounts may help sell quickly today, but they make customers accustomed to waiting for promotions. Second-order thinking helps us avoid choices that are attractive in the short term but dangerous in the future. Always ask yourself, what will happen next? It's a small question, but it can save you from big mistakes. Chapter 9, Probability and Realistic Thinking. The human brain is very poor at assessing risk. You fear planes more than cars, you fear terrorism more than heart disease, you buy lottery tickets but you hesitate to invest, because emotions have replaced reason. Probabilistic thinking helps us see more clearly. Nothing is sure, only the likelihood of it happening and the level of impact. So, don't ask will it happen? But ask how likely is it, and if it does happen, what will be the consequences? Smart people don't shy away from risk, they choose risks worth taking. Chapter 10, The Power of Silence. In communication, silence is the most powerful tool that few people know how to use. When you stop talking, the other person will feel empty and fill the silence with more real things. In negotiation, the person who speaks first often loses the advantage. In listening, the silent person often understands more deeply. Learn to use silence not to control, but to observe and connect. Sometimes, the greatest power lies in the moment when you say nothing, but understand everything. Conclusion: the compound effect of thinking. Small changes in the way you think today can make a huge difference in a year. Improve 1% every day, you will be 37 times better. But decrease 1% every day, you will lose almost all of yourself. Success or failure does not come from one big decision, but from small choices repeated every day. And remember, knowing but not doing is just another form of intelligence illusion.